Hello, would you like to know the difference between a debit card and a credit card from the perspective of a business owner? Join me. Hello, welcome to Take a Step to a Better You, this channel which I started to share what I know and what I continue to learn every single day, with the intention that maybe if I keep talking to you, you follow me, and then maybe we make our lives better. My videos are normally about, I like the motivational ones, but I also record about business tips, especially for small business owners. And I also record videos about earning money online, and more specifically affiliate marketing. If you are new, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you. My name is Sheriff Nakalema. I'm a business owner from Virginia, USA. Today I have a message that's good for me. Hopefully you're going to be happy for me. It's good for this channel. YouTube has approved me for monetization. What that means is that I hit the 4,000 watch hours. That means you watch my videos. Thank you. And also there are 1,000 subscribers minimum. Right now I have over 3,000 subscribers, and I have to thank all of you for sharing my videos, and for some of you for taking the steps I suggest. So thank you very much. But what's going to happen now, I don't know if it's a good thing for you, because you're going to see some, I'm in the process of applying, but I've already approved advertisements to show up, ads to show at the beginning and also in the middle, but made them skippable. You can skip them, so you could choose to skip. But if you don't skip, it's good for the channel. And my promise to you, if you keep watching these videos and coming back to my channel, when this channel becomes successful, more successful than it is now, I promise it's going to touch people's lives, because whatever I gain from it, I'm going to share. That's my promise. So please keep watching those commercials, because they may pop up in the middle of my message. Don't go away. Stick around. Okay? And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share these messages. Today, the message I have is for business owners. But even if you're not a business owner, you may want to understand how credit cards and debit cards work in terms of like when you are a business owner. But even when you are the one paying, maybe you want to hear what I have to say. It's going to be just a summary, not very detailed, but for those owners who want to know more, if you didn't have credit cards before and you want to start, I encourage you to check with your bank. The bank may have these services if you want to start accepting debit or credit cards. But even if you're just a customer, I think it's good knowledge just to know how these when you use your credit card, what happens to how does this affect the person you are paying? But my message is for business owners today. And I'm going to talk about the difference between a debit and a credit card. I'm going to talk about the differences, the advantages, why you want to accept debit and credit cards for your business compared to cash, I recorded a video before, which I was talking about the difference between a sales invoice and a sales receipt. And in that video, I mentioned that before you issue a receipt, you have to accept cash or checks, all those, and I mentioned credit cards too. And I promise to come and explain the difference between a debit and credit card. That's a follow-up. If you want to watch that video, I'll put a link below. But for today, we want to understand the difference between when someone comes to you with a debit card or a credit card. If you're already accepting these, you already know these differences. But maybe there's something new you may hear, especially if you just started. So, what is a debit card? What is a credit card? What are the advantages and disadvantages? And what are the of using both? And what are the advantages between the two? So you'll see when I explain, hopefully, it's not going to be like complicated. So, what is a debit card? I have a sample here. This is, it's an old card. It's not my account right now, but it used to be my account. It's just for illustration. A debit card looks like this. This is the Bank of America debit card. It will have, for it to become, this is issued by Visa, and it will have the words debit card on the side. That's what makes it different from a credit card. It will have the word debit. So you may find another one, but normally when it's the same bank, like Bank of America, it will make sure that the credit card looks not the same. So the debit card may be red, but the credit card will be a different color, but will not have any words like credit card. They mark the debit to make the difference, even when you are using them, so you remember this is a debit card. So what happens when someone comes to you and pays with a debit card, debit, I already wrote down. So when it's debit, the money is coming from their bank account. The money is their own money. Only the bank issues these debit cards to make it convenient for a person owning a bank account to use to go to the ATM and get out some cash, to get some cash back, like when you're shopping. You can request some cash back from some businesses. And also, like if you want to buy online or do this for convenience, but actually it's your own money. And when someone comes to you with, or for those who don't know, when you are using a debit card to buy things, you always have to put your PIN number. So the bank has given you a PIN number, which you use like a password, but maybe like a 4-digit number that you have to put in for this card to be authorized. That's a debit card. The big difference is your money. What about a credit card? For a credit card is an arrangement that happened before the card was issued. This is an example I have here. This is for my business actually. It's also not active right now. That's why I can hold it like this. So what happens with the credit card? The arrangement happened before. The owner applied and was given a loan, like a credit line, but it's a credit limit. It could be $500, $1,000, $10,000, whatever. Depends on your credit score. Many factors get into that before you are approved for a certain amount. Also, whatever you apply for, you may have the good credit limit, but good credit score, but may not need that much money. You may say, I only want 2,000, even if they have given you 10,000. So, but when you're starting out, it's common to be given just like 300 or 500 if your credit is not good, or when you're starting out without credit. So, they give you a limit and you go out shopping. So when the person comes to you using your credit card, the processing is a little bit different. They don't need a PIN number. They need just a signature. They just sign. You know, a long time ago, people used to be very careful about, because these cards have signatures on the back. They used to check the signature on the back and make sure, but these days, you could even go shopping with a card that's not even your own. They don't even take care of, make sure what you're signing is actually the same as what's on the back of the card. But that's now. That's why a lot of these things are happening with fraud. Like someone can just grab your card and go use it to shop and sign, and the signature is not even yours. But before, they used to be very, very careful. They will look at the sign in the back here. The owner would have a signature. And when you go shopping, you would sign for approval, and then someone would normally check the back of the card to make sure you're the person. Only these days, things are moving so fast. Now, something I didn't mention with a debit card, someone can choose to use it as credit. So when they choose to use it as credit, they also don't use the PIN number. They would use signature to sign. Sometimes for convenience, sometimes they forget, and sometimes there is another advantage. Now I'm talking like a customer. If you're not so sure the money is there, maybe you just put money in the bank and you're not so sure it's available, maybe it's not available yet, it's better to use it as credit because the credit moves slower. It hits your bank slower. But the debit card, when someone uses the debit card, the money the transaction hits their bank account really fast. So it may be not approved if it's debit. But if you use it as credit, you have like another day. So that's like a tip for if you're watching me and you're a customer. So using a debit card, you can choose if you're not so sure the money deposit is available already, you can choose to use it as credit. So it's slower. It goes through like another day and then the money becomes available. That's just a tip. Now, the most common issuers of these cards, you see that both the ones I'm holding, they both have Visa. Visa is more common and more international, but others are catching up. So you'll see maybe Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. Those are very common, but many more. I can't list all of them. You can go find out, please. Or what I'm saying here is just a summary of things. If you don't accept cards yet, please, you have to educate yourself. Go. They'll give you a lot of information. You'll learn how this works. But for those who are already doing this, just know that there are many other options. It's not just Visa, although Visa almost that's the beginning. Anyone who is accepting credit cards has to start with Visa because it's the most common. But you'll find that some, like I used to do this actually with my other business. I used to accept credit cards, debit cards. So American Express is different. So when you see Visa being accepted, most likely MasterCard is accepted too. But American Express, you have to have a separate transaction, a separate application to allow you to process American Express cards. So, and not so many people have them. So when you're starting out, you just have more commonly Visa or MasterCard and the others. Okay, let's go to why. Why you want to accept debit or credit? Quickly, I'll say, when I'm writing and I'm speaking, like they tend not to be very clear, but the number one advantage is why as a business owner, why you want to accept debit and credit cards together, whichever. Later I'll come to separate the two, but for now I'm saying why debit credit over like cash, the other method. Because number one is convenient. Convenient for the customer. So because it's convenient for them, they make this transaction, the decision is fast for them. If you're selling something, whenever you meet them, these days you can get from anywhere it seems. It's easy for a customer to say yes. So you as the person selling something, it's great if you are accepting debit or credit because it makes the customer say yes faster and you make the sale. Advantage number two, they tend to buy more in terms of amounts. So if someone if you are selling something like for $20 and you sell just for cash, someone will have to think about what they have in their wallet or whatever. So only 20. But if you are assuming you don't accept credit cards, but if you are credit or debit, but if you accept credit or debit, they don't have to think about the 20 they have in their wallet. They can just get out their card, and instead of selling one, you may end up selling two or three, like 40 or 60, just because they're not thinking about the limit of the cash, because they have the credit is making it easier for them to buy more. Another reason I'll give you is credit credibility for you as a business, depending on where you are, but especially here where I am, I'm in America, I'm in Virginia, USA. I don't think you'll find a business that is not accepting credit or debit. I don't think so. Because even the convenience stores, like where you go to buy coffee, people charge $1. Can you imagine? $1, they get out their wallet and they take out a card to charge $1, $2. So you have to, if someone comes to buy from you and they say, oh, I don't take credit or debit, they may think you're not even in business or you don't have a license or something. So if you are somewhere where credit and debit are not very common, try it. Try to start the process of accepting them and start telling your customers that you do them, and then encourage them to go to their banks and apply for cards. You see how convenient it is for them, for you, and then they buy more. Okay? Credibility. You become a credible business. The other point I have is you are able to compete. Competition. You compete. Because if you're in a shopping center or a city or whatever, and you are the only one not accepting credit or debit, people will tend to go to your competitors. So to compete, you're going to need to accept them too, to accept credit or debit. So if you want to compete and stay in business, especially now. The other point I have is you are able to sell online, sell by phone. Some people, especially if you have so those people who sell things that you can deliver or people can come pick up, whatever, you need to be able to go online. People can, if you want to sell on your website, and also for phone. Like for example, if it's a restaurant, maybe takeaway, people just call in their order and come pick it up. They could even send someone to come pick it up. So make it convenient to sell to anyone who is on the phone, anyone who is online. So you're expanding, you're growing your business. Okay? Make it easy for anyone. And then the other point is, although this one, I don't know, you may disagree with me, but I'll say cash flow. Let me first explain what I mean. It increases cash flow if you accept debit and credit cards, because this is automated. So once people come and buy, when the bank, the whole process happens, like they close the transactions, the money goes to your bank account straight. It just goes. You don't have to watch it, how it happens. They have a fee, but everything is automated. And money comes and it flows. But for example, I used to have a business where I would even now, I have a cleaning business where I pick up checks. I keep picking up checks until I take those checks to the bank. There'll be no money. And they take like another day or 2 days to process. So the cash flow moves. Like as you are selling, money is coming in, you don't have to worry about it. But with a check, you have to go to the bank and deposit it. Okay, now they do online banking, but still, it's some more work on your part. So the cash flows. Yeah, I think it's a point there. Okay, now I'm about to take this off and I'm going to talk about, those are the advantages why you need to start. If you're not accepting credit cards for your goods or services, you need to, I think, apply and be able to start using them, start accepting them. Now, the difference between these two advantages and disadvantages. You notice that an advantage here is a disadvantage there. An advantage there, the disadvantage here. So, let's start like this. Advantage for debit. Advantage for debit will be a disadvantage for credit. Here, for you as a business owner, when you're accepting debit cards, it's going to be less fees. In fact, there is a law they passed here in America where they lowered the fees. I want to go into the details of laws, but you can find out, or you don't even need to know. Those are the laws. The banks know the laws. The merchant, the people who deal in this, they know the law. So there is a limit at the highest amount you can charge on debit cards processing. So less fees. And here, this is an advantage here, but here is more fees. They charge more. It's a disadvantage. Higher fees. It's not showing where. Higher. More fees for credit. They charge more for credit card processing than for debit card processing. Advantage number 2 is that when you process a debit card transaction, the money hits your account faster. It gets in your bank account as a business owner faster than for credit. Maybe this one could take like 24 hours. This could take like 3 days. Although, I see when they are trying to compete, they may promise you 24 hours here too. And this could say next day. I don't know what's going on right now because I'm not processing cards myself right now. But what I know, when they are competing, they try to promise you faster, that your money will hit your account faster. But still, this one will come faster than the money from the credit. When people process with credit cards, it's maybe a day or two more that you have to wait for that money to come. Now, how about the disadvantages of debit? I would say disadvantage. Remember, disadvantage of debit will come an advantage of credit. Disadvantage. This one is limiting because limit. As the person is buying, they're still thinking about the money in their bank account. It's still their money. So they are thinking, oh, I have 200 there, so I can't go over that here. But here, they tend, only if someone is like mismanaging their credit or they have like a lower limit, the credit cards tend to have larger amounts available. More available here. I'm talking about a situation where someone is financially sound, the person you're dealing with. The people who teach about good credit management, they'll say you only use like a 30% of a credit card limit. For example, if I had a card that gave me $1,000, you are advised to use like 30, only 300, 30%. So they have more available money here. So the advantage for you is that as they are buying, they may not consider so much, oh, how much am I paying? Because they know the money is available. But here, they are thinking of whether it will be declined, whether it will be approved. So it's limiting. I'm talking about these in terms of you as a business owner. The disadvantage is limiting the debit. Then number two for debit cards, the advantage is because the advantage here, disadvantage, it becomes a disadvantage over here. Because number two, they have like two, depending on when they are making this transaction, the credit card goes in billing cycles. It has a cycle. So it may be billed maybe the 20th of the month. So if someone comes to buy from you on the first of the month, they have up to 20th to be able to have to be required to pay their bill. Some people may pay immediately, no one stops you. But if you are waiting for your bill, maybe you have like 3 weeks before your bill is due. So that's an advantage over the debit card. Because for this person is not really thinking, oh, the bill is due tomorrow. Maybe their salary is coming. They know they'll be able to take care of that. So all this is an advantage to you because you will sell more. This is the more relaxed customer as they are buying. They're not so worried. But this one is due now. It's now connected to this one because they have to spend it now. And it needs to be available now. But this one, they're thinking about the future. They don't have to worry about interest or anything. By the way, while I'm at this point, I have to mention something personal, but also as an obligation. Because I'm a Muslim, if you're watching me and you're a Muslim, you need to know that Islam does not encourage you to pay the minimums. Because like a credit card, if you have, for example, you use maybe for this period, I said like $300, the credit card company may say, oh, what's due is only 50. Minimum due 50. Sometimes even less. They may say minimum due is $20. You are encouraged to pay all this off. Because if you don't, there is interest. And Islam does not allow you to encourage you to pay interest. So it's an obligation of mine to mention this, especially if you are younger and you don't know how these things work. They say minimum due is 50, but if you don't pay all of it, there is interest. And interest is not allowed. So in Islam, I wanted to mention that. So if you are watching me and you're Muslim, know that you use a credit card maybe to boost your credit, because here, especially in America, it's hard to, if you don't have good credit, even some people may not give you a job because you don't have good credit. So if you want to boost your credit or for your business, it's okay, use the credit cards, but pay everything off when it's due. That's just an obligation statement. Okay. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Please make some comments and share if you know someone who has a small business. These days they make it very, very easy. You can do it on your phone, accept cards on your phone. Can you imagine? It's easy. If you have a business and you're not accepting credit cards, debit cards, please consider starting today. Go to your bank and ask them. Go online and research, learn some more. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing things that I think are good for you. Okay, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Share it. Please subscribe to the channel. And that's it. Like I always end them. Take very good care of yourself. Take very good care of your family. Take very good care of your health. That's all. That's the one you have. If you don't have health, you have nothing. With this, what's going on in the world, you see what's going on. Without health, you have nothing. So, take good care of that. Like I always end them. Bye-bye. Until next time. Take a step to a better you.